Are you ready for some football? Marvel style? Stay tuned. What's going on, comic friends? It's Ryan the Colossus Collector, and welcome back to my channel. It's that time of year. It's fantasy football season. I know I've been in a couple drafts already. I'm in 3 different leagues. And I know, the comic community might not be chock full of sports fans, but I know there are some that dabble in both sports and comics, like myself. And I love playing fantasy football. I love playing fantasy hockey as well, which is also coming up soon. But it gave me the idea of doing a video of drafting my ideal Marvel fantasy football team. So let's jump into who I would pick on my team. So if this was a Marvel fantasy football league and I was the commissioner and I set up the positions, and I certainly did for this video, this would be how we would be assembling a team. We would of course have a quarterback, 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, a tight end, a flex position, and a defense. Now, for defenses, I've decided that you got to pick a team, a Marvel team, to be your defense, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So, first off, quarterback. Who would I pick for quarterback? Who's going to lead my team, my team's offense, and just be the leader in general in the locker room? Well, it came down to two players, 2 characters that I thought would make a good quarterback. Two characters that have an awesome arm, that are always throwing things, and that's Thor, Odin's son, and Steve Rogers, Captain America. But of course, I had to go with the Cap. Captain America, Steve Rogers, a born leader, and he's also American. Football is America's game. I don't think the Nords, the Scandinavian people played much American football. They played more footy. They played a little bit more soccer. Maybe Thor would be the captain of my soccer team. But Captain America is the QB, my leader of my Marvel football team. He's got an incredible arm. He's a tactician on the field and a leader of men and women. He is my quarterback. Next up, wide receiver. Who would I pick in the wide receiver slot? Well, there's a lot of skill that goes into wide receiver. They need speed, they need agility. And my first pick is Peter Parker, Spider-Man. Spider-Man's quick agility, his ability to jump huge distances high in the air. It's hard not to pick Spider-Man, not to mention his overall reach with his web shooters and his incredible spider sense, so he knows when the ball's coming into a range or when an opposing cornerback is coming in for the kill. Spider-Man is on top of it, and he's going to catch that ball every single time. Spider-Man is my first wide receiver. My second wide receiver. Well, I've got the agility, I've got the jump and the spider sense in my first wide receiver. My second wide receiver, I'm going for pure speed, and I have to pick Quicksilver. Quicksilver's absolute unmatched speed is exactly what I need for my wide receiver 2. He is going to get downfield faster than anybody in the Marvel universe, and I think that he would be perfect for a wide receiver 2 spot. He's gonna go for all the Hail Marys, and he will be an excellent addition at wide receiver to my Marvel fantasy football team. All right, next, running back. And at this position, we need a lot of skill. We need a lot of size and strength and mobility. And we really need our quarterback to be able to take the punishment that comes from an opposing defense. We don't want them to stymie our running game, so we need absolute beasts at running back. And there's a lot to choose from, but I had to go number one running back with Bruce Banner, the Hulk. The Hulk is a little bit unpredictable, but there's no one who can match that character's strength or even speed. The man can move, and he is going to shove that football right up the defense's you-know-what every play. The Hulk is here to smash and get touchdowns. Hulk, my RB1. So at RB2, still lots of options on the board, and I had to go to my X-Men world. And no, it's not who you think. I had to go to the villain route. I want a mean son of a gun at RB2, but I also want that mobility, that strength. I want a guy who's also going to shove that ball right down the gut of the defense. Yeah, I'm going with the unstoppable, the one and only Juggernaut, Kane Marco at RB2. A Hulk Juggernaut tandem at running back is absolutely unstoppable, and that is my running back choices for my Marvel Fantasy Football team. All right, so now we get to tight end. A very interesting position in the game of football. You have to have a decent amount of speed, but you also need to have strength. You're playing in the short game. You're playing in the slot a lot. You need to be able to get the ball, but then also move the ball upfield. Get through some of those safeties, some of those cornerbacks. You need to have that size, that height, that mobility, despite the size and the strength. And there's only one guy who could take the tight end spot on my team. That's Piotr Rasputin, the Colossus of the X-Men, my favorite character, and he is my tight end, and he is going to score a ton of touchdowns for this team. Colossus at tight end. All right, now comes the flex. Flex position is interesting. You could go with another wide receiver. You could go with another running back. I decided to go with more of a running back type. I want absolute monsters on my team. I want the opposing defense to actually defecate in their drawers every time they see my team coming at them. And in the flex, I had to take yet another one of my top running back options. I'm taking Ben Grimm, the Thing. The Thing, along with the Hulk and Juggernaut and Colossus at tight end. Oh my God! No one's stopping this team. But I'm sure you'll come up with ways to stop my team because you guys are all a bunch of comic book nerds. But this is an unstoppable offense. Love the Thing as my flex player. All right, and finally, defense. So I need to pick a team of characters, a team in the Marvel world that's going to play defense for my team, and there's lots to choose from. You know, of course, my favorite, the X-Men, is out there. So many characters, unending characters that are in the X-Men. But for, simplicity's sake, let's just concentrate on the regulars. There's Nightcrawler and Cyclops and Storm and Rogue and Jean Grey and on and on and on. But I've already taken my favorite X-Men off the team, so he's not going to be playing defense. And a lot of interesting abilities on the X-Men, but I don't think that's where I'm going to go. Then there's the Avengers. Now, I've already taken a couple of Avengers on my team and my offense. So I don't know if the Avengers without their leader on the field, Captain America, I don't know if I really want to go down that road. So I had to dig deep for a team that I could trust on the defensive side of the ball. And I went with absolute beasts. Like I said, I want absolute monsters on my team, whether it be defense or offense. So I went with the Annihilators. We're talking Gladiator. We're talking Silver Surfer. Adam Warlock, Ronan the Accuser, Quasar, Beta Ray Bill. Man, that's the ultimate team. You cannot beat the Annihilators. The defense will annihilate anyone who comes up against them. You've got speed, you've got strength, you've got absolutely unstoppable beings on defense with the Annihilators. That's my defense. My offense is stacked. My defense is stacked. Guess what? We just won the Super Bowl. We just won my fantasy trophy. All the money. Unfortunately, none of it exists and it'll never happen. It's all in my head. But it was fun to think about them on the gridiron, playing for my fantasy team. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was just a lot of fun to think about this, to think about players in the light of fantasy football. Just kind of some stupid fun. And if you're a fantasy football player, I wish you all the best. Normally I don't wish people who play fantasy luck because they're usually playing against me, but none of you are. So good luck this season, and I hope your team performs like my fantasy Marvel team would. Until the next time, keep collecting.